Hello and welcome to Z. In this episode, we are diving underwater and look at the life of sea turtle. Stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon. The sea turtle. Sea turtles, superfamily Chelonoidea, sometimes known as sea turtles, are testudines and Cryptodira suborder reptiles. The flatback, green, hawksbill, leatherback, loggerhead, Kemp's Ridley, and olive ridley sea turtles are the 7 existing sea turtle species. Under the Endangered Species Act, all 6 of the sea turtle species found in U.S. waters, excluding the flatback, are categorized as endangered or threatened. The flatback sea turtle is the 7th sea turtle species found in the oceans of Australia, Papua New Guinea, and Indonesia. Sea turtles are classified as either hard-shelled, cheloniid, or leathery-shelled, dermocheliid. The leatherback sea turtle is the only species of dermocheliid. Description: females and males of each of the 7 varieties of sea turtles are the same size. There is no sexual dimorphism. Sea turtles, on average, have a more fusiform body design than terrestrial or freshwater counterparts. This tapering at both ends reduces volume and means that, unlike many other turtles and tortoises, sea turtles cannot retract their heads and limbs within their shells for protection. The streamlined body plan, on the other hand, lowers friction and drag in the water, allowing sea turtles to swim more effortlessly and quickly. The leatherback sea turtle is the largest sea turtle, with a length of 2 to 3 m, 6 to 9 feet, a breadth of 1 to 1.5 m, 3 to 5 feet, and a weight of up to 700 kilograms, 1,500 pounds. Other sea turtle species are smaller, measuring 60 to 120 centimeters, 2 to 4 feet, in length and being proportionately narrower. The cheek regions of sea turtle skulls are bone encased. Although this feature appears to be similar to that of the earliest known fossil reptiles, anapsids, it is likely that it is a more recently evolved trait in sea turtles, putting them outside the anapsids. Habitat and distribution. Except for the polar areas, sea turtles can be found in all oceans. The flatback sea turtle is only found on Australia's northern coast. The Kemp's Ridley sea turtle is only found in the Gulf of Mexico and along the United States east coast. Sea turtles are most commonly encountered in the waters surrounding continental shelves. During their first 3 to 5 years of life, sea turtles spend the most of their time floating in seaweed mats in the pelagic zone. Green sea turtles, in particular, are frequently discovered in sargassum mats, where they obtain food, shelter, and water. When a sea turtle reaches adulthood, it migrates closer to the shore. During the nesting season, females will come ashore to lay their eggs on sandy beaches. Sea turtles move to their spawning beaches, which are in short supply. Because they live in the ocean, they usually move over long distances. All sea turtles have huge bodies, which helps them move long distances. Major body proportions also provide considerable defense against the ocean's large predators, particularly sharks. In 2020, decreased human activity caused by the COVID-19 virus resulted in an upsurge in sea turtle nesting. Thailand saw an unusually high number of nests in some regions, and Florida saw a similar phenomenon. These observations could be explained by less plastic and light pollution. Physiology. Osmoregulation. The interior environment of sea turtles is hypotonic to the ocean. They must expel excess salt ions to sustain hypotonicity. Because reptilian kidneys cannot generate urine with a greater ion content than seawater, sea turtles, like other marine reptiles, rely on a specialized gland to clear the body of excess salt. All sea turtle species have a lacrimal gland in their orbital cavity that can produce tears with a higher salt concentration than seawater. Leatherback sea turtles confront a greater osmotic difficulty than other sea turtle species since their major diet are jellyfish and other gelatinous plankton, whose fluids contain the same salt concentration as seawater. The significantly larger lacrimal gland found in leatherback sea turtles may have developed to cope with their prey's higher salt intake. Even while leatherback sea turtle tears can have a salt ion concentration nearly double that of other sea turtle tears, a steady output of concentrated salty tears may be required to balance the input of salts from frequent feeding. Hatchlings rely on ingesting seawater as soon as they enter the ocean to restore the water lost during the hatching process. Salt gland function occurs immediately after hatching, allowing juvenile sea turtles to establish ion and water balance as soon as they enter the ocean. Survival and physiological function are dependent on prompt and efficient hydration after emerging from the nest. Physiology of diving. Because sea turtles are air-breathing reptiles with lungs, they must surface frequently to breathe. Because sea turtles spend the majority of their time underwater, they must be able to hold their breath for extended periods of time. The duration of a dive is mostly determined by activities. A foraging sea turtle may spend 5 to 40 minutes underwater, whereas a sleeping sea turtle may spend 4 to 7 hours beneath. Surprisingly, during the vast majority of deliberate dive duration, sea turtle breathing stays aerobic. When a sea turtle is forcibly immersed, for example, when it becomes caught in a trawl net, its diving endurance is significantly diminished, making it more vulnerable to drowning. A sea turtle may swiftly replenish its lungs while surfacing to breathe by exhaling explosively and inhaling rapidly. Their big lungs allow for quick exchange of oxygen and avoid gas entrapment during deep dives. Cold stunning is a phenomenon that occurs when sea turtles enter cold ocean water, 7 to 10 degrees Celsius, 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, causing the turtles to float to the surface and making swimming impossible. 7 interesting sea turtle facts. Sea turtles are not only gorgeous animals, but they also demonstrate tremendous tenacity and resilience in the face of changing environments and temperatures. These are some of the most fascinating facts about sea turtles to commemorate and emphasize their value. 1. Sea turtles have a lifespan of up to 50 years. While it is difficult to determine the exact age of any sea turtle species, scientists discovered that these creatures have lifespans comparable to humans. Marine organisms can take 2 to 3 decades to mature and then continue to reproduce for another 10 years. However, the most reliable estimate indicates that some sea turtles can live for 70 or even 80 years. 2. Sea turtle sex is determined by sand temperature. Marine turtle eggs cannot survive underwater, thus they are laid in a nest dug in the sand with their rear flippers. Turtles typically lay 100 to 125 eggs at a time and nest several times over the course of several months. The sand temperature is critical since it determines the sex of the hatchlings. Males are produced by cooler incubation conditions, whilst females are frequently produced by warmer sand. Temperature fluctuations during the 2-month incubation period usually result in a mix of male and female turtles. 3. Sea turtles travel thousands of miles during their lives. Throughout their lives, both male and female sea turtles migrate considerable distances from the high oceans to breeding beaches. Each year, the leatherback turtle can migrate 16,000 kilometers, 10,000 miles, or more across the Pacific Ocean. Loggerhead turtles have been seen traveling from Japan to Baja, spanning nearly 13,000 kilometers, 8,000 miles. Other species, such as green turtles and olive ridleys, prefer to stay near to home and thus migrate over considerably shorter distances. 4. Sea turtles play an important role in maintaining the world's ocean ecosystem. Sea turtles reduce overgrowth on coral reefs by grazing on seagrass beds and sea sponges, which enhances current flows and nitrogen generation while maintaining healthy flora and fauna cultivation. Some sea turtles also eat on jellyfish and crustaceans, which helps to keep their population under control. They also supply food for other fish because barnacles, algae, and other organisms can adhere to their shells, resulting in a healthy food web. These positive feedback loops and nutrient recycling are critical for marine habitats, and sea turtles may carry nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium from the waters to the beaches where they nest. 5. Because sea turtles do not retract within their shells, they are more vulnerable. The shell is an extension of the turtle's spine that grew from the ribs into an external bone covered in thick skin. Sea turtles, unlike other species, cannot retract their paddle-shaped flippers and retreat into their shells. While their shells protect them from attacks and abrasion, the fact that they can't entirely hide in them makes them more vulnerable to predators like tiger sharks and killer whales, as well as feral dogs, seabirds, and raccoons that devour eggs and hatchlings. Human actions endanger sea turtles as well. Beach development, for example, lowers viable nesting sites for sea turtles. Furthermore, urban stressors like noise and light can drive them away from their nesting places. Trash is also a major issue, as sea turtles frequently die after consuming or becoming entangled in plastic goods. However, fishing operations provide the greatest serious threat. Because they cannot survive underwater for lengthy periods of time, they frequently drown as a result of becoming entangled in massive industrial fishing nets. 6. There are only about 6.5 million wild sea turtles left. While calculating the precise number of sea turtles left in the wild is extremely difficult, scientists estimate the population to be approximately 6.5 million. The great majority of sea turtle species are classified as endangered or critically endangered, with varying numbers of individuals remaining. For example, there may be only 57,000 critically endangered hawksbill turtles left in the world. Kemp's Ridley, which is listed as severely endangered because to the effects of climate change and human activity, is thought to be home to as few as 10,000 individuals. 7. Endangered sea turtles thrived in Florida during the COVID-19 pandemic. During the nesting season the year before the pandemic, about 400,000 sea turtle nests were documented along Florida's coastline. Only around 1 in every 1,000 hatchlings survives, and the number of mortality on busy tourist beaches is even greater. However, in 2020, marine researchers in Florida discovered that COVID-19 limitations that kept tourists and toxic waste off beaches benefited the state's endangered leatherback sea turtles. This is all for now. Thank you for being with us.